I will be back with you in a moment. And see you in like 5 seconds. I've got to go grab a pencil. Alright guys, I have a pencil because I know we need to write down notes in this for your game. And also in the notes section I'm going to write down inventory. We're going to go on normal mode. We are not going to easy mode. That's stupid. Okay. So let me write down my inventory in the back. Alright. Here we go. I just caught an interesting book in the back. Okay. I'm gonna write down on the third page inventory. Alright, there we go. Now our inventory is ready. And now let's read the blurb. Return to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. In this interactive novel where you decide what happens, go back to where it all began in this interactive novel set before the very first Five Nights at Freddy's game. You, the reader, are the security guard, and you've got 5 nights, or is it 6, to survive Freddy, Chica, Bonnie and Foxy as they try to wipe you out with all the 50 different possible endings and 2 difficulty settings. This one-of-a-kind, innovative novel is a uniquely entertaining experience for any Freddy fan. Sorry, I had to make that noise. Okay, here we go. Let me move this bookmark. Thank you, Grandma Baxter, for this. Sorry, I just have a bit of a cold. I do. Oh, I've already told you that, haven't I? Intro. You are Ralph, and working security at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is your dream job. At least that's what you told them in the interview. You've been there so long. The relentlessly cheerful animatronics feel like old friends. You love how their antics bring saccharine smiles to kids' faces. This place creates happy family memories, and you help make that possible. But all good things must come to an end. It's time to move on while you still can. This is your last week. You've always worked a day shift, but after a sudden staff vacancy and temporary closure, management asked you to take the night shift for a change. Letting them down is never an option. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica and Foxy are Fazbear's Entertainment's biggest assets. Your duty is to protect them and the restaurant's reputation. Your contract calls it a matter of life and death. You've heard rumours that the animatronics get somewhat lively after hours, but no one's better equipped to handle them than you. 22-time Employee of the Month. As a night watchman, you'll face many choices that lead to various outcomes. If you find an item that might help you do your job, write it down for later on the page survivors. Now for your first big decision. If you want to play on easy difficulty, add paperclip, screwdriver and flashlight to your inventory and turn to page 2. If you want to play normal difficulty, start with all your wits and turn to page 2. We are doing it normal mode, by the way. At any time you can turn to the back of this book for some line pages if you ever need to make notes for yourself. Basically, this is just the night guard's thing. He hasn't got a red rim on my cover. whatever. Maybe because that's brightened up. Night 1, 12 a.m. The security office at Freddy Fazbear's Vita is practically his second home. You spend so much of your time here over your career, probably too much time cooped up in a glorified closet, staring at a buzzing, flickering monitor until your eyes dry out. But everyone's got to make a living, and you have an 11-year-old daughter, Coppelia, to provide for. You often feel like the only thing you're good at is protecting others, even at your own expense. The office is always dark since there isn't any outside windows. Somehow at night it still manages to give you the creeps. You're probably just spooked because you're all alone in the restaurant. Aside from Freddy, Bonnie, Chica and Foxy, animatronics aren't fantastic conversationalists, but boy, can they sing and dance. Of course, they've also been known to do other things. Rumor is they've become strangely aggressive lately. But surely those glitches were ironed out, or they wouldn't have reopened this place. Not that customers have exactly been flocking back just yet. After the restaurant closes and everyone is gone, the animatronics enter roaming mode and walk around to prevent their servos from locking up. You hear heavy footsteps echoing out there now. Clump, clump, clump. Turn to page 3. If the animatronics encounter you in the restaurant at night, they should ignore you. But your safest bet is to stay in the office until 6 a.m. and then return to the stage, enter sleep mode and recharge. Then you can go home. Management cares about their employees. It's time consuming and expensive to hire and train new ones. Not to mention the occasional legal fees and the hassle of covering up accidents. So they installed reinforced doors on either side of the office. In the unlikely event that an animatronic visits you here, you can open and shut the east and west doors by pressing the big red buttons in the doorways. Light switches below them illuminate the east and west halls outside your office, so you can see whether anything is out there. Surviving the night probably seems like a low bar for a job, but this isn't just about collecting a check. You may have to venture out of the office from time to time. The animatronics are clumsy and mindless naturally. If they break something out there, you have to go fix it. Clean up the mess right away so the restaurant is ready to open, just in case any customers show up. Think of the children! Of course, your number one concern is making sure nothing happens to Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica. Oh, and don't forget Foxy. Do not forget about Foxy. There are 3 security monitors on the desk, but 2 of them are always on the fritz. Replacing them would let you see more, but you guess management spent the money on those doors instead. You use a control panel in front of you to switch one of the working displays to feeds from various cameras around the restaurant. You check the stage first. Your heart pounds when you see Bonnie and Chica are gone. So that's who you heard walking around the restaurant. Freddy's just hanging out up there on his own. The brown bear is dapper and as always in his black top hat and bow tie. You're glad they restored the vintage animatronics with his classic looks. Freddy doesn't wonder much, as if he's above all that just because he's the star of the show, or maybe he's saving his energy for something. Oh, I'm the star of this show. you tell yourself. As you switch over to the Pirate Cove camera. Foxy's shy. The curtains are drawn, so he must still be back there. Before you locate Bonnie and Chica, you discover a situation that demands immediate attention. The lights in the restrooms, the men's restrooms, are out. You must replace the light bulb before your shift ends, and it's better to do so sooner than later. Okay. If you inspect the desk, turn to page 5. If you exit through the door on your left, turn to page 6. If you exit the door on your right, turn to page 7. Well, they're going to be in the hallways, aren't they? So, if you check the cameras again, turn to page 8. Inspecting the desk before I'm checking the cameras. The new day shift security guard left quite a mess. Scrunched up food wrappers and empty soda cups everywhere. You know it can be hard to stay awake while watching cameras for 6 hours. But there's an unspoken rule in this office. Keep it clean for the next person. You're gonna have to leave a passive-aggressive note before you finish tonight. They'll never make Employee of the Month with an attitude like that. Just because we don't often meet our fellow employees doesn't mean we are part of the same friendly Fazbear family TM. It's important to have some pride and consideration. This is one of the reasons you agreed to record those training videos for new hires and leave phone messages as a part of orientation. It helps you feel a connection to the other guards. You hope hearing a calm voice helps them keep a level head when things get tense. And it's nice to know that even after you leave this job, part of you will always remain here. You yank open the top metal drawer and yup, more trash. You pluck out the crumpled balls of paper and soda cups and spot something small and shiny at the bottom of the desk. A paper clip. Those always come in handy. You slip it into your pocket and finish tidying up the office. All those soda cups remind you about the restroom and the broken lights you have to take care of. Add paperclip to your inventory and turn back to page 4. Alright, bookmark goes straight here. I'm gonna head to notes, inventory, paperclip. Clip. Paperclip. Alright. In paperclip. I know we have a paperclip. So we have a paperclip and I remember that. Turn back to page 4. If you exit food on your left. If I'm checking the cameras again, so it's always a good idea to check the monitors to see where the animatronics are at any given time, especially if you're thinking about leaving the office. You quickly click through the camera feed. Freddy is on the stage, but he's moved since the last time you looked in on him. He's facing the camera now, his eyes seemingly gazing into your soul as if to say, I know that you're watching. You shudder. Who watches the watcher? White eyes peer from behind the curtain in Pirate's Cove and then blink out. Not so fast, Foxy! You can't find Chica anyway, but the camera in the kitchen has been broken for a while. It only picks up audio, no video. Something is rattling in there. Rattling pots and pans and banging cabinet doors. Giant yellow chicken has a voracious appetite. Sounds like she's a bit peckish and looking for a midnight snack. Bonnie. Where's Bonnie? There. In the West Hall, heading towards the security office. Turn back to page 4. I don't go in the East Hall now. Oh. Go back to page 4. to the door on my right. Page 7. The restrooms are located on the east side of the restaurant, so you head through the door on your right. You glance at rules for safety poster as you exit the office. You don't know why they're posted in this corner where kids shouldn't be anywhere. The rules certainly don't apply to you, especially number 8, leave before dark. You laugh nervously. The hallway is decorated with cheerful stars and a checkerboard stripe matching the floor tiles, but the dim light from the lawn fixture overhead makes the fading decor almost sinister, especially the vintage character posters for Chica, Freddy and Bonnie. What was that? You thought you heard something, but it was far off. A clanking sound, maybe from the kitchen? The kind of sound of a 6-foot animatronic chicken might make it if you knocked the metal pot off the counter. You pause and strain your ears to listen, but you hear nothing more. You reach the dining area. An overhead light illuminates 6 long tables, already prepped up for a party, with confetti tablecloths and party hats lined up. You start to make your way to the restrooms, but you freeze at the sound of slow, heavy footsteps. Okay. If you hide under a table, go to page 9. If you hurry towards the bathroom, turn to page 10. If you knock over a table as a distraction, turn to page 11. It's obvious not to do. It's obvious not to push over a table as a distraction. It is obvious. If you hear the slow heavy footsteps, I thought he was going to say, oh, let's run in the kitchen. Number 1, there's a chicken in there. Number 2, we already knew there was a chicken in there from the cameras too. Oh, okay, this is intense actually. If you hide under a table, turn to page. You scramble under a table and lie on your stomach, peering out from under the tablecloth. Now you hear the vibration of footsteps, as well as you can feel the vibration of footsteps as well as hear them. They plod towards the dining area. The animatronic would be moving faster if it knew your location. If you made a break for it and stay low behind the tables, you might be able to reach the restrooms without being spotted, or you could cower here silently and hope whoever it is moves on soon. If you keep waiting, turn page 12. Hurry towards the bathroom, turn to page 10. If you have the bonus item, we use it on page 49. There's Chica snarling at me. A short, quick illustration. There we go. It's back on. If you keep waiting, turn to page 12. If you hurry towards the bathroom, turn to page 10. I'm not being a coward. I think I should hurry. I feel like it's gonna go to the bathroom. Then again, I really don't feel like that. It might be heading to the kitchen. No, it might be heading to the bathroom. But it makes more sense for it to go to the east. Hurry towards the bathroom. No. Right, fine. I died, I think. No, I'm not doing that. Keep waiting. Was it? Oh, it was a game over anyway, yeah? That was a game over. They say discretion is the bad part of Vela, so you keep hiding and waiting. Definitely not because you're too scared to budge. The footsteps cease, and you wonder whether the animatronics is waiting for you. You clamp off a hand over your mouth and count the dried pale wads of gum stuck to the bottom of the table. 7. Gross! After several minutes, which seem more like an hour, you're pretty sure the coast is clear. From your vantage point on the floor, you don't see any oversized animal feet in your immediate vacancy. It's time to make your move. Head straight to the bathroom. Turn to page 13. If you check the tabletop first, go to page 14. I'm going to page 13. You step into the men's restroom and shut the door. The antiseptic scent of bleach still pervades the air, which is far from the worst thing you've whiffed in that. Okay. You try to look around, but it's too dark with both the lights out. That's why you're here. What are the odds that 2 bulbs would burn out at the same time? Maybe it was some kind of power surge after all. The wiring in the building is ancient. That's probably why the cameras always glitch. And monitors in the security office keep overloading. That it might even explain some of the strange behaviour exhibited by the animatronics, unless you shake your head. You're in the dark. When it comes to that stuff, in this case literally, just focus on your job. You think, focus on getting home to Coppelia. Everything else is way above your pay grade. If you replace the first light bulb, turn to page 15. If you listen at the door, if you listen at the door, turn to page 16. Inspect the sink, turn to page 17. I think inspect the sink, because I feel like I'm going to find an item there. How many night watchmen does it take to change a light bulb? None. They refuse to do it. Because if they chase away the night, they're out of a job. You smile to yourself as you take it to your detour to retrieve a step stool and a new bulb from the maintenance closet. You often make up jokes in your head while you're working, and you can't wait to get home to inflict your latest creations on Copula. She'll groan loudly and say affectionately, "Bad joke, Dad." You'll remind her that telling dad jokes is a mandatory requirement of all fathers, and you'll never shirk on your duty. The boring, real answer to the question is, of course, 1. You finish twisting the new bulb inside the socket and say, "Let there be light," as it flickers on, casting the bathroom in its warm glow. You blink as your eyes adjust from the darkness. The white porcelain urinals and sinks are gleaming. This is the cleanest bathroom. This is the cleanest the bathroom will be all day. Once the restaurant's opened and the kids are unleashed to eat and play, this will quickly become one of the most disgusting rooms in the facility. One light down, one to go. I'm just going to pause real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, we're continuing. So, right here, if you replace the second light bulb, turn to page 18. If you listen at the door again, turn to page 19. If you inspect the sink, turn to page 20. Come on. One of the sinks is lower then the other to make it easier for kids to reach the faucets. Just as one of the urinals is at a child's height. It's a thoughtful detail in a place designed for children and families. Heavy feet are running in the dining area. Sound rapidly gets louder. You barely have time to process what's happening when the door bursts open. You can see glowing white eyes, and in the dim light, recognize the tall, lean silhouette of Foxy the pirate. His wicked sharp teeth and the metal hook on the end of his right arm glint in the bathroom. Seeing Foxy up close usually sends a thrill through you. You used to stop in and see him every day at the end of your shift, till they closed his attraction and warned everyone to stay out of Pirate Cove. The tattered animatronic rushes towards you in an eye blink. Your combined screams reverberate deafeningly in the bathroom. Your final thought before the darkness became permanent is, "But you were my favourite." Game over. To try again, turn to page 2. No! I'm not turning all the way back to page 2. You know what, actually? I'm gonna listen at the door. Your caution pays off. You hear footsteps outside, moving much more quickly than Bonnie or Chica usually do, getting louder by the second. While you've been in the restroom, you haven't been keeping an eye on Pirate Cove. Foxy must have left his attraction. You hope he didn't hear you walking in here, but he does have big ears. They're among the few parts that still function on the old animatronic. Yeah, he's on his way to the restroom right now, and you don't have much time until he gets to you. If you barricade the door, turn to page 21. If you hide in a stall, turn to page 22. Go to page 22. Hide! You have to hide. You can't fit in the maintenance closet. It's too small and crammed, full of mops, buckets, and cleaning supplies. Your only option is to duck into one of the stalls and stand on the toilet, like you did in elementary school when you needed to get away from the mean kids. Now that you think about it, maybe that's one of the reasons you became a security guard, so you can help those who can't help themselves. Of course, you imagined that you would be armed in order to protect and serve, but not weapons of any kind aren't allowed. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Nothing kills a kid's party more than seeing someone with a taser hang out in the corner, even if he is the good guy. You dash to the first bathroom stall, but find that that's locked from the inside. Secured with a simple side bolt latch. You might be able to get it open if you had something thin enough to fit between the door and jam. If you barricade the restroom door, turn to page 21. If you try the next stall over, turn to page 23. If you have a paper clip and want to use it, turn to page 24. You check your pockets for the paper clip you found earlier. Got it. You straighten out the wire and then bend one end of it up in a right angle. Foxy isn't the only one with a hook now. You insert your new makeshift tool between the door frame and fiddle around. It only takes you a second to catch the knob of the bolt and slide the lock open. The door swings out towards you. You slip into the stall and pull the door closed. You don't believe this. The door won't stay shut. The side bolt is jammed now. Oops! You can't lock the door. What rotten luck. Foxy's footsteps stop right outside the outside the restroom. What now? hold the door shut. If you try the next door over, turn to page 23. You hold the door shut. I'm dead. I know that the next door is gonna kill me. And I know holding the door shut is also gonna kill me. The next door over is open, but before you can get inside of it, the bathroom door bangs open and slams against the wall, loud as a gunshot. Foxy the pirate is here, and he knows how to make an entrance. His exposed metal feet clink against the floor as he steps into the bathroom. The porcelain tiles crack under the pressure of his weight. His eye patch is pulled up so both of his glowing white eyes are focused intently on you. He scrapes his hook along the wall as he stalks towards you, and then he starts humming. Foxy used to sing in the stage shows with Freddie, Bonnie, and Chica until he was banished to Pirate Cove and left to be forgotten. The tune is slow and unsettling, but you can't quite remember the song, at least not in the short time you have left. Game over, to try again, go to page 2. Dang it. I'm going back to hang on. One light down. I'm going back to page 15 where we got one light down. If you inspect the sink, if you listen at the door again, page 19. Yep, no, I've just done that one. Because the second light bulb, turn to page 18. You've just removed the second burned out bulb when you hear something big run up to the restroom door. Foxy. You think just before he busts the door open, the tatters comes and gives at you, one guy covered with a black patch, jaw hanging slack to reveal his vicious teeth. His right arm is raised threateningly with a sharp silver hook on the end where his hand should be. Everything about this animatronic screams, not for kids, which is probably why his attraction had been marked out of order for the reopening. Although, as far as you know, he's never bitten any kids. But Foxy is literally screaming and rushing towards you. You hurl the light bulb in your hand at him, but it shatters harmlessly against his head. And now broken shards of glass tinkle on the floor tiles. Great move. Now he's really agitated. The good news is you won't have to clean up the mess. The bad news is you are the mess. Game over. Dang it. I've done all these options. I'm going back to before we put in the first bulb. If you replace the light bulb, turn to page 15. Listen at the door. So page 16. Go 16. Maybe the darkness is making you parent. Hang on, I'm going to listen at the door. Maybe the darkness is making you paranoid, but you press your ear against the door and listen. If an animatronic follows you into the restroom, it won't be great for you. At least there's only one way out. At least I'm in the best place for a person to lose control of their bladder. You chuckle and wince at the sound that the sound echoes around you. The restaurant sounds quiet, which oddly makes you feel even more nervous. The darkness seems to be pressing in on you, making it hard to breathe. Even harder to think. Imagination is running wild without any sensory input. All you want to do is replace the light bulbs, get back to the office as quickly and safely as possible. I'm inspecting the sink. Plink, plink, plink. That dripping faucet is so annoying. You can't concentrate on anything else. You turn to your right and feel for the sinks that you edge along the wall. When you reach them, you tighten the hot and cold water taps until the drip stops. The sink is filled with water. It appears that something is clogging the drain. You probe it and feel something soft and slimy. You pry it loose and squish it in your fingers. Slightly sticky. You raise it to your nose and sniff tentatively. Chewed gum. Ew! The obstruction removed. The water drains out the sink, gurgling down the pipe. Add chewed gum to inventory and turn back to page 13. Alright. Chewed gum. Chewed gum. We got chewed gum, guys. Chewed gum. There we go. Now we got chewed gum. Okay, going back to page 13, which is literally just a page earlier. We were just reading it earlier. Wait. Oh, page 13, not 16. 13 then. If you place this is back where we were earlier. If you place the first light bulb, turn to page 15. If you listen at the door, turn to page 15. I know that Foxy's coming, so I'm listening at the door. Oh no, I've just checked that, haven't I? Place the first bulb. I'm going to change up the bulb. How many night watchmen does it take? Okay. Smart use of your blah 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 blah. Right, we got one light down. Replace the second light bulb. Turn a page. I'm listening at the door again because I know Foxy's coming out. The caution pays off. You hear footsteps outside, moving much more quickly than Bonnie or Chica usually do. Get loud by the second while you've been in the restroom. You haven't been keeping an eye on Pirate Cove. Blah 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 blah. Hiding in a stall. Hide. You have to hide. Blah 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 blah. We're gonna. Anyway, basically we dash to the bathroom stall. I'm using paperclip now. Paperclip's off my inventory now. Check the focus for the paperclip. Blah 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 blah. Now we have chewed gum, and now we can lock the door shut. You pull the wad of chewed gum from your pocket and pick lint off it. It's still soft and slightly sticky. You edge the door lock and the door stays closed. You sigh with relief and you crouch on the toilet, tucking your feet under you and out of view. The restroom door creaks open and bumps against the wall. Someone is there, waiting in the doorway, waiting, watching, waiting. Somehow you manage to remain perfectly still, and eventually, whoever it is leaves. Okay. You open the door and look outside. Peeking under the stall. You lower yourself. Basically, it's if you open the door, look inside, look outside. Turn to page 27. If you peek under the stall, turn to page 28. So I'm peeking under the stall. You lower yourself gently to the floor of the stall, freezing anytime you make the slightest sound and waiting for the moment before you continue. Soon you are lying on your belly, grateful that the restroom has been so thoroughly cleaned. You peer out from under the door. No sign of the metal legs and feet of Foxy's exposed endoskeleton. From here you can glimpse a slither of the restroom hallway, and beyond that the dining area. All is quiet. You lie there for a few more minutes to be sure you're alone and to settle down and catch your breath. That was too close. You're getting nervous about being outside the security office with its cameras and door locks to make you feel, well, more secure. But before you can head back there, you finish your job for the night. Turn to page 29. Okay. Also, in the previous page, where we just leave the thing, there's a little Foxy illustration. I will show you just now. Um, uh, back on. Alright, here we go. Let's continue reading. You stare up at the second broken light bulb. You're the only thing standing between me and home tonight, you say. So I'm talking inanimate objects now, and myself. That's awesome. You've been through a lot already. You're tempted to leave now, knowing that someone on the day shift will have to replace the bulb and fix that bathroom door if you don't. But like you said in one of your training videos for the restaurant, you can't spell team without M and E. After the Bite of 87, you heard that some staff twist around too. You can't spell team without meat. You didn't much appreciate that. People deal with tragedy and loss in their own ways, sometimes with humour, but hey, at least it showed they were listening during orientation. If you replace the second light bulb at page 30, I'm going to go straight to 31. The close call with Foxy has you on edge, jumping at shadows and constantly glancing over your shoulder. You're pretty sure the second bathroom stall is empty, so why do you hear hoarse, garbled whispers coming in from inside? You can't make out the words, but it sounds like somebody's reciting a poetry or a song or a children's rhyme. Maybe it's a jingle from a TV commercial. Something stains. Something remains. Probably an ad for laundry detergent. But where is it coming from? You pull the door towards you and slowly the door towards you slowly empty. Not quite. A ballpoint pen is lying on the floor at the base of the toilet. You don't know how the cleaning crew missed that, but you're definitely going to shove it in their face. You step into the stall and retrieve the pen. The door of the stall bumps close behind you. Your pulse quickens as you imagine yourself being trapped in here, but you force yourself to turn around calmly. That's when you see the words written on the inside of the door in angry scribbles of ink. It's me. Weird. You'll have to leave a note for the crew to scrub that off first thing in the morning. And you'll be sure to suggest to management that they add no vandalism to the list of rules. You exit the store and got to replace the second broken light bulb. Add ballpoint pen to your inventory and turn to page 30. Alright, I'll add it to my inventory right now. So what am I? I've got ballpoint pen. I've ballpoint pen. Ball pen. I have a ballpoint pen. Got page 30. Alright. You replace the second light bulb even faster than the first. The later it gets, the more dangerous it is to be outside the security office. You haven't been watching the cameras, but you have to assume all the animatronics are walking around now. The bathroom, once again, bright and cheerful. You can head back to safety, but getting there will be very unsafe. You turn to the step stool to the maintenance closet and dispose of the old burnt out bulbs in the trash. You glimpse your reflection in the wide mirror. You look terrible. The light reveals deep shadows under your eyes. Transitioning from the day shift to the night shift has already started to fagitate you, making you question what's real and what isn't. At least it's only for a week, and then you can rest as much as you want before diving back in your job search. A position is opening up for security guard at your daughter's school, and you really hope you can get it. But middle schoolers can be just as difficult to handle as animatronics. In some ways, Freddy, Bonnie, and Chico are just big, terrifying kids. I hope you don't run into any of them on the way back to the office. Better hurry, your shift's almost over. If you leave the restroom right away, turn to page 32. Listen at the door, turn to page 33. You're itching to get moving, but you press your ear to the bathroom door and listen. It sounds quiet out there. You grab the handle and are about to open the door when you glance down. Faint light from the dining area seeps in from under the door, but it's interrupted by two shadows. Those could be feet, you think. Really big feet. The moment stretches out for a long time. Your knuckles are white. You're gripping the door handle so tightly, but then the shadows are gone. You hear footsteps moving away. You've been breathing shallowly this whole time, worried you'd be heard. So you're taking a deep breath. It's now or never. Yeah, literally, in the previous page, if I went on the other page... Okay, time to continue reading. Turn to page 36 now. You sneak back to the security office without encountering any more animatronics. By the time you get there, it's 5:45 a.m. Your shift is almost over. You check the cameras. To your relief, Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy are all present on the stage, and a curtain is drawn at Pirate Cove. Previous night watchmen have reported that the animatronics are behaving strangely. But like everyone else, you dismiss their wild stories. Some people fall asleep staring at the camera feed and they imagine things bolstered by the old rumours and stories. The mind can be a funny thing. Now, at making it hard to distinguish hallucination from reality. Now you feel bad for not believing them. And you know that if you tell others about what happened tonight, they won't believe you either. Perhaps it would even discourage you from talking about what you've seen. You would never do anything that would harm Freddy Fazbear's Peter. You put too much time in, put so much of yourself into your job, or you're practically part of it yourself. Never pictured yourself leaving, but it seems like the best time to go, especially considering everything that happened tonight. Just 4 more shifts left. You can do this. Okay? If you tidy up before the end of your shift, turn to page 37. If you sit down and wait for 6 a.m, turn to page 38. I'm gonna go to page 37, I think. You start putting the security office back together the way it should be for the next shift. You toss all the garbage from the desk into your trash can, into the trash can. The sight of those food wrappers and soda cups sets your stomach growling. You haven't eaten in the last 6 hours. You clear out junk from the yellow lockers at the back of the room, as well as including a year-old packet of toaster pastry that you choke down anyway because you're that hungry. Yum. You return to the desk. 5 minutes to go. You click through the cameras. The electronics are still where they belong. Already the events of the night are starting to seem like a bad dream. Your attention falls on the poster behind the TV. Celebrate. It implores in the bright bubble letters above a group of Bonnie, Freddy, and Chica. These lovable characters couldn't be capable of the horrors you've just experienced, could they? Maybe you've just been misinterpreting everything. This place could have that effect on people when it's late and you're tired and hungry and lonely. You stare at the image while moving your head side to side. From some angle, it looks like there was a bulge in the paper. Before you can investigate, a red light starts blinking on the telephone. If you check the phone, turn to page 39. I'm listening to the phone. The black office phone is dusty, but the handset is smudged. There are smaller smudges on the 1 and 9 buttons. Someone has used it recently. Some people around here know you as the phone guy because of your voice messages that are forwarded to new hires with reminders, tips and encouraging words to support them during their orientation week. Ironically, you don't use the phone much yourself. You record the messages and management schedules them to go out automatically. They've probably been using the same one for ages. Maybe you should update them before you go. A faded scrap of paper taped to the phone has a handwritten list of extensions. Of various locations around the pizza place. Backstage, parts and service, dining area, Pirate Room 1, Pirate Cove. Another number is provided for voicemail. The red light continues blinking on the front of the phone. Someone's left you a message. If you call home, dial the number on page 42. If you call backstage, dial the extension on page 41. If you call voicemail, dial the number on page 43. Alright, let's go to page 43, guys, because I'm reading that voicemail. That blinking red light captures your attention. You don't remember whether it was there when you returned to your office, or whether it appeared while you tidying it up. You assume it's automated message sent by the system, but you can't call your curiosity about it. You pick up the receiver and push the flashing red button, and which automatically dials voicemail. Welcome to the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Entering Service. Please enter your 4-digit access code at the sound of the beep. Beep. If you have the 4-digit voicemail code, go to page 44. And if you don't have it, go to page 40. Okay. Page 40. You watch the clock on the desk as the numbers flip over from 5:59 to 6 a.m. Yay! You survived your first night at Freddy's. All is quiet as you leave the security office and pass through the restaurant. You step outside it and take in the fresh, cool air, happy and grateful to be alive. Even the early morning light seems too bright after all the darkness of the pizza place. You lose all sense of time in there. Since most of the windows are in different parts of the restaurant, there isn't a cloud in the sky. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day too. Too bad you'll have to sleep through most of it once you send Copila off to school. Then it won't be long before you're back here for your second night. Who knows what that will bring? You lock up the restaurant, wave goodbye to the sleeping animatronics inside, and head home. Turn to page 229. Okay. 229. What? Page. When you get home at 6:30 a.m., you wish you could go to bed, but your day isn't over yet. Now it's time for your second but most important job, parenting. This one is full time and pays nil, but you wouldn't have it any other way. However, getting your 11-year-old daughter Copila up and ready for school is more than challenging than anything Freddy Fazbear's Pizza could throw your way. You peek into her bedroom and see her still snoozing peacefully. Books are scattered across her bedspread and on the floor, and an open one lies on her chest, rising and falling with her steady breathing. She was clearly up late last night, reading, as usual. You laugh a little when you see drool in the corner of her mouth and a damp spot on her pillowcase. I wish I had a camera, you think. So you study her a little longer, trying to hold on to this memory for later. You go into the kitchen to make breakfast, intentionally banging pots and pans around as you cook eggs and bacon. You can't help but think of Chica, and you force the thought away. You're off the clock now, and you will not let the animatronics live rent-free in your head. The combination of Copila's alarm clock and the aroma of bacon is enough to wake her. She pads out into the kitchen in her rocket ship pajamas, hair a tangled mess, and her face lights up when she sees you. Miss me, huh? You say, twirling your spatula. No, I just love bacon so much. She gives you a hug, and by extension, the person making it for me. You laugh, but seriously, I missed you. While you were sleeping, especially then. I'll never sleep well when you aren't home. I hate leaving you, but it's just for this week. She sees the concern on your face and puts a hand to her mouth. Oh, Dad, I didn't mean to guilt trip you. I'm fine, really. Miss Andrews, Mrs. Andrews, May, Miss May, Miss Andrews always looks in on me. Me. And she hears everything that's going on around here. That's an understatement. You smile. You're grateful to have someone close by to watch the house while you're away. But you've never worried that Capilla will get into any trouble on her own. If anything, she's keeping an eye kindly on Miss Andrews, who sadly lost her own daughter at a young age many years ago, and have been overprotective of the neighbourhood's kids since. Capilla reaches for the tray of cooked bacon. You slap her hand away. You're not getting one slice of bacon until you're dressed for school. Sticks her tongue out into space into her room. Turn to page 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 1 hour and 8 minutes. Jeez. As soon as it reaches night 2, Capilla comes back in record time with her hair neatly tied in a ponytail, a bedazzled purple t-shirt, tights, and jean jacket. She sits down and you put a heaping amount of bacon onto her plate that she immediately starts shoveling into her mouth. How was work? She asked. Uneventful. You lie. Sounds like my dream job, she says, sitting at a desk in the middle of the night, pushing buttons. I would catch up on so much reading till boredom kills me. You would not be killed by boredom at Freddy's, you say, and promise me you'll never work there. She laughs. Okay, sure. Now how was your day? You catch up with each other while you eat breakfast. Then she notices the time on the Kit Kat clock and jumps up. My bus! She shoves another piece of bacon into her mouth and grabs her backpack by the kitchen door. She rummages around in it. Crud. Do you have a pen? I had to finish my homework on the bus. You raise an eyebrow. Why didn't you do it last night? Because I couldn't find my pen. Keep up, Dad. If you have the ballpoint pen and you give it to her, remove it from your inventory and turn to page 232. I'll give her the ballpoint pen. Now I need to remove it from my inventory now. Alright, my ballpoint pen must be removed. My inventory. Okay. There we go. Crossed it out now. Alright, now I need to go to page 232. You grab the pen from your pocket. Here you go. Don't lose this one. You toss it to her. She catches it expertly. She should really be on a sports team, but all she wants to do is read, tinker with projects in the basement, and play the Sega Genesis. She's a great kid, you think. I don't know how I got so lucky. Thanks. She looks at the pen. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Employee of the Month. Don't you have a drawer full of these? You're the best worker there. Not that the bar is that high. pen back. Nope. She twists the pen and discovers a screwdriver inside. Wicked. Yeah, probably she shouldn't be bringing that to school. You stand up. I'll find you another pen. The bus honks outside. Too late. Gotta go. She runs to the door. A moment later, she runs back and gives you a cheek. Love you. And then she's gone, with your pen in hand. You already miss her. At least working the night shift doesn't take away your time together. You don't like the idea of leaving her home alone, even under the sometimes too watchful eyes of the neighbours. Just 4 more days. You yawn and head to bed. Turn to page 52. Night 2, 12 a.m.